I remember the moment they left. It was a cacophony of mockery, echoing through our dining room like a haunting melody I couldn't escape. My family's faces twisted in disbelief as I shared my dream of creating affordable prosthetic technology for those in need. They didn't just think it was absurd, they could barely contain their disdain. To them, I was not a visionary, not a pioneer. I was an embarrassment. "Why don't you pursue something respectable?" my father sneered, his fork clattering against his plate. "You're throwing your degree away on this nonsense." "Do you really think you can change the world with recycled materials? Just give up already," my brother chimed in, a cruel smirk plastered across his face. "You'll never amount to anything. Everyone else in the family has a real job." With every taunt, I felt a piece of me fracture. But in that fractured state, something ignited within me, a fire sparked by rejection. I had been dismissed from a top aerospace firm under the false accusations of incompetence by a jealous supervisor. And instead of wallowing in despair, I decided to dive headfirst into the world of biomechanics. Maybe I was reckless, but I was determined to prove them wrong. The journey was relentless. I spent countless nights hunched over my makeshift workbench, cobbling together designs from discarded materials. I faced ridicule from the tech elite who scoffed at my innovations. "What do you expect to accomplish with trash?" they jeered. But every sneer solidified my resolve. I was not just tinkering. I was building a revolution. Months turned into years, and amidst the struggle, I found allies, people who believed in my vision of making prosthetics accessible to those who couldn't afford the exorbitant prices set by the industry. We pooled our resources and expertise, and slowly, piece by piece, I began to shape something incredible. We developed a line of affordable prosthetics that were not only functional, but also stylish, using recycled materials that would otherwise end up in landfills. One breakthrough led to another, and soon I was collaborating with nonprofits and hospitals. We transformed barren lands into thriving ecosystems of hope. The first time I saw a child run with a prosthetic limb we had created, a surge of joy surged through me. It wasn't just about the technology. It was about transforming lives. And then, one fateful day, the news broke. I had been featured in a prominent magazine, heralded as a leader in biomechanical engineering. The article detailed my journey, from the mockery of my family to creating a company that was valued at millions, changing lives in the process. As I stood in my luxurious office, with patents lining the walls and awards glimmering on the shelves, a sense of accomplishment washed over me. I had done it. I had risen from the ashes of their derision. But there was still something missing, a final closure. I needed to show them who I had become. So I took a deep breath and decided it was time to return home. My heart raced as I drove through the familiar streets, memories flooding back of the laughter that had haunted me for years. I could almost hear their voices, still echoing in my mind. But this time I would reclaim my narrative. When I pulled into the driveway, I could see my family's house, the very same one where I had felt so small and insignificant. I walked up to the door, my former self clinging to my heels, but now I was someone new. I knocked, the door swung open, and my mother's expression morphed from confusion to shock. "What are you doing here?" she asked, her voice trembling. "I'm home," I replied, a smile creeping across my face. "And I have something to show you." As we stepped into the living room, my family stared at me, their eyes widening. I had brought a prototype of my latest prosthetic, a sophisticated, elegant design that utilized advanced biomechanical technology and had been crafted from recycled materials. "Who would have thought you'd actually do something with your life?" my brother scoffed, but there was no bite to it. I could sense the wavering in his voice. With a swift movement, I activated the prosthetic, and it moved with fluid grace. "This is not just machinery, it's a lifeline for so many people," I said, my voice steady. I could see the color drain from their faces as the reality of my success washed over them. I've transformed lives, I continued, and I'm just getting started. I want to partner with local hospitals and schools to provide these to those in need. This isn't just my victory, it's a chance to give back. As I spoke, I noticed my father's eyes glisten with something I hadn't seen in years. Pride. The laughter that had once stung now felt distant, and in its place was a palpable tension of regret. They had witnessed firsthand what I had become, and I could almost hear their internal reckoning. "I'm sorry, son," my father finally said, his voice cracking. "We were wrong. You've done something extraordinary." Those words felt like a balm to my soul. They were a culmination of every sleepless night, every moment of doubt, every heartache I had endured. In the end, it wasn't just about proving them wrong. It had become about proving to myself that I was worthy of my dreams. I had transformed not only barren lands, but also the perceptions of those who had once derided me. As I left their home that day, I felt lighter, as if the burdens of the past had finally lifted. I had achieved my dream, and in the process had shown everyone, including myself, that resilience leads to redemption. My journey was far from over, but I had taken the first monumental step towards something greater than I ever imagined. And I knew, without a doubt, that I was finally home.